Well, in the past, I have done a few odd jobs that are kind of outside the wagon shop. You know, like I rebuilt that International 1000 mower and some odd things like that show up. Well, I have just thrown them in the mix and you kind of had to suffer for it. Well, I really do quite a number of things outside the shop and after work. And I got to thinking maybe I should just include these, and I thought maybe I would start a second channel. But on pondering this and second thought, I think maybe I'll just include another playlist and possibly work into a second video of the week instead of just the one like I'm doing now. So we'll see how it goes, but this is going to be one of those videos that's some of the projects that I do after work. Well, I've got an old Ford backhoe that's a 3-point attachment. It's a Model 70, and I've been rebuilding this, trying to attach it to this old tractor that I've got. Well, when I picked it up, the cylinders were leaking just really bad. I did get them resealed on the 2 outriggers, and then the 2 cylinders that swings this whole backhoe side to side, I got those resealed and back installed. But yesterday I took out the main seal that was, or the main cylinder that was just leaking like a sieve. So I thought maybe I'd just show you the process that I've been going through on how to reseal these cylinders. Well, I got these kind of cleaned up. They aren't perfect, but they were pretty bad. This is the main tube. This is the rod that I took out of it. Now the end pieces here, I don't know all the terminology, but I've got pieces for those. I just got back this morning picking up parts. This is the end piece here. This has got the, instead of being threaded in, it's got this spring type of deal on it. This is the first time I've been into cylinders. So I've got a new neoprene. This goes inside here. Got to install that. This is the wiper seal, outside wiper seal that came off of it. Well, it's an 1 3/4 OD on the ram, and so I got a new seal, but it doesn't fit the opening here. It's deeper than the old original one was, and it's a little wider. And this is just what I've had to do on the other 3 or 4 cylinders also. I had to stick these on a metal lathe and open that up and get that to fit, so I'm going to do that. And then this back part of the ram, you know, this is a dual action 2-way cylinder. Well, it's got some seals in here, or O-ring, and a pretty hard seal. I guess I could take that off and kind of show you what I did here. I already put that on. I was watching Adam's channel, A Bomb, and he talked about these cylinders, or these seals here, being so hard, and once you put them in, you kind of got to stretch them out. And then he talked about just putting a clamp around them and setting them back down. Oh, this is the original one. See, it was a little wider for this groove. And they didn't have one that was the same. Well, on this outside piece here, there's 2 wipers and then an O-ring that goes in between the 2. These wipers here go on there. Well, the old original ones were these kind of a Teflon seal. Well, I robbed one of these new ones and put it in alongside this one here to take up the space. So what I'm going to do is I'll take one of these old Teflon ones and a new one, and then we've got a new O-ring that'll go into this groove here. But first I got to open this up to accommodate this wiper seal that goes on the outside. think she's gonna go. He's kind of started. That'll work. Now I'm gonna get this neoprene in, get the flange the right direction. So I'm going to put this old Teflon in on the back side. Make sure I get that 45 the right direction. This is the new O-ring. Right there. And this new wiper. That'll give us our 2 wipers and new O-ring in the center. Should be ready to go back on. I took this bolt out and didn't realize there was a set screw in there, so I kind of boogered up the threads on the old end. So I'm gonna get rid of that. I got a new internal lock washer. It's going to go there. And this has a little rubber seal inside this washer. Nobody had a new one, so I'm going to use that one actually, and then I'm going to put some hydraulic thread sealant on this to boot. Kind of help seal that up. We'll stick her together, just like about so. Got just a little bit of a rough spot there. Let's see if I can just take a little bit of that rough off. So I'll just clean this up a little bit and make sure nothing hangs up on it. This is a little set screw I was talking about that I didn't realize was there. Kind of boogered up my threads. I got that backed off now, so I put the new bolt in. Shouldn't mess it up. Lube these up first. I got some wheel bearing grease here. She went. Move this O-ring. I'm going to put some thread sealant. This is hydraulic thread sealant, just in case the rubber on the inside of that washer isn't maybe the best. This is a 7/8 fine thread, grade 8. I don't know for sure, but that's a, I'd go 80 to 100, just guessing from torque wrench times. Remember my set screw. Not a very big set screw, I don't suppose it takes a lot. Not a lot bigger than the other ones. Started here. There we go. And there's a notch here. That's on the other side. I'm going to turn this over so you can see that. Right there. Okay, in this little spot here, as I rotate that around, there's going to be a notch in there somewhere. One groove for that spring to sit into. There it is, right there. You see it? The end of the spring, a little curl on it, right down inside that notch. Right there. So I just keep going. That's going to suck up underneath. There's a groove inside of the tube. And instead of being threaded, it just has this locking ring. So now there's the end of that other spring. I'm just going to run it past. Right there. So there's the end curled under, and I just lost that one. This one's pretty snug, so I'll leave it there. But in order to get that back out, if it's hidden and all you see is solid spring, well, you just keep going, be counterclockwise until it'll pop up, and then you can go clockwise and it'll just work it right out. That puts her back together. Yeah, maybe she can get some grease. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect to the upper side on both and collapse it. Then as I collapse it, it's going to suck fluid into this chamber and fill the cylinder. So when it's back on the backhoe, I won't have a bunch of air, at least hopefully not as much air in the whole system. Hook my hydraulic hose. I'm going to kind of leave that a little loose so as I pour oil in the other end, it'll let some of that air escape and probably start dripping. Hopefully I'll kind of see what's happening here. Might create kind of a mess here, I'm not sure. That took just about that whole 2 cups. I just got leaks starting on the other side. If I lower that, you see I got oil there. I'm going to drop this in this 2-gallon jug of oil. Try to minimize my loss. I'll go ahead and tighten this up a bit. These seals are pretty tight when they're new. Keep that kind of protected. Just pull that together. Here we go. We should have both cylinders filled up. Well, fixing these cylinders, putting new seals in was the first time I've ever done this. It was kind of a new experience for me, kind of figuring it out. I did go into Womack, they're a hydraulic store in Billings, and they had most of the parts off the shelf. These wiper seals, like I say, I had to kind of adapt that cap. There's a name for it, I don't remember what it is. But anyway, having metal A's, that's not too bad to do. There wasn't a single place in town that had them. So we just made the cylinders fit the seals. Anyway, I'll go put this back on the backhoe and kind of see how that goes together. I've got 4 on there already. These are the last 2. And the 7th one, I'm not sure if I'm going to put seals in that one. It doesn't seem to be leaking, but I do need to change the fluid in that cylinder. So I'm going to compress it, take it out, and refill it up with fresh fluid and see if we can get this backhoe to work. Once again, thanks for watching.